How is? Sorry, I'm on a little break there. It's been a long week, and I didn't expect you to be here so early. Welcome to my space. I am having a break, but also ready to do some science. I'm wearing my t-shirt to give myself a little bit of a boost today. It's a puzzle. Maybe you could send it in to our free post, our PO Box 2021. Send it in the solution, so you would say Phil, so it's identified for me, and then the solution to the mystery puzzle of what this says here. So just Phil, and then the solution, and yeah, if we could get thousands of those letters in, that'd be brilliant. Anyway, science, you're here for that. How are you? Good to see you. We are in the hub space. Wherever you're doing science is your space. Try all of this stuff out. Today, I'm going to deal with something about stress and bangs and little mini explosions. We're going to talk about why balloons pop when you put a pin in them. Balloons are made out of a stretchy, elastic rubber material, and when you blow into them, they stretch. So you are putting air inside them, you're compressing it inside. So while you're blowing, you're stretching the material, which wants to stretch back to its original shape, which is smaller, which is why when you let it go, and I just hit one of the crew. When you let it go, it flies off because it's squeezing that air. It pushes against the air in the atmosphere, and it flies off in the other direction. But let's try this again with a different type of idea. When you blow into this, you are stretching out that material that wants to stretch back in or elasticate and return back to its original shape, which is why there is a pressure on the gas inside it. Okay, so when you've blown this up, this is at tension because it wants to squeeze back to its original position. And if you take a pin and you pop it, what you are doing is you're putting a tiny little hole in the middle of it. So there's a space where there's no tension, not be able to hold it again, and the balloon rips apart like that. Oh, I now can't hear out of that ear. So if you're doing this, just be careful. But what I want to show you is that if you actually spread that weight out, and you spread it out, or that instance out over a wider surface, it means that there's not as much pressure or weight acting down on that single point, meaning that it won't pop out. So what I'm going to do is I have a load of pins now, and I'm going to put them onto the table here, and I'm going to flatten them out and have them all pointing up. So just give me one moment, because this will take... Now, when you're using any of these, you need to be careful so that you don't poke yourself in the finger, which I will inevitably do. But what you're going to do is you're going to put these out flat, have them all pointing upwards. Can we get a speedy up bit? Because this will take a moment. Back in a second. Okay, so we have several pins there, more than one or two, spread out. And what I'm going to do this time is I am now going to blow up the balloon again and try and put them into... Now, they should be all facing upwards. So if I blow this up again, blowing air. Now, these are made out of a polymer, which is poly is like a parrot. Polys repeat, parrots repeat. A polymer is a chemical that repeats in a chain again and again and again. So I've blown up the balloon. I have tied it now here like that. So I have a balloon. It is blown up, and I am going to push it onto the pins. You ready? What do you think is going to happen? I'm pushing it down on a load of spiky things. See what happens, and... Hey, see? When you press it down on lots of different pins, that gets spread, the weight gets spread out all over those single points. It's like a bed of nails that someone you might have seen sometimes if someone lies on. How could they lie on a bed of nails? Well, this is exactly it. That weight is being spread out of all of those multiple little points, so it doesn't burst. However, if you put one single one out in the middle, blammo! It explodes because of that tension that rips it apart. But science is but a wonder that it is also useful to you to be able to do these things. So if I put these aside, i.e. to the side, how could science help us solve this problem? How could you stop it ripping apart? Well, you remove the tension, the bit that makes it rip apart. So this time I'm going to take a balloon again. I'm going to try and remove the tension by adding a little bit of tape. So I've blown up a balloon this time. Again, this will pop if put with a bit, I'm gonna hold it there. I'm gonna take a small bit of tape, normal sellotape will do. I'm gonna take a normal bit of tape and I'm gonna put it on the side. So, what I've done now is I've put a bit of tape here, and instead of when poking a hole and the elastic reaction wanting to rip apart and you'll see the balloon pop, by putting this hole in the pin now, it shouldn't pop. You ready? Okay, so I'm gonna put this in here and and see, it works because the tension is spread out over the whole thing. So even if I take this out, you can see the little hole. The air obviously is seeping out of it. So I'll put it back in. But because the tape is there, it means that there isn't that ripping force. The tension isn't able to rip the balloon apart, and it stays kind of inflated for a little bit. Send in your attempts at this. Be careful again with the pins and the balloons to rte.ie/learn. Have a go, try things out yourself, and you never know. I mean, like, you could invent something amazing. Oh, it's got cool. Could I get a new tea? See you next time. Bye.